Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Women Unleashed. And I've got the pleasure of having my lovely Ellie back on the podcast.
I might as well just be a co-host these days.
I was thinking that, you know what, we may as well just do a co-host podcast. You're always here. But the reason why I have you here is because people just love our episodes.
I mean, they are fun though.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
I do as well. The Valentine's Day one was great. But today, I wanted to record part 2 of Should I Block My Ex? So I did the first part on my own, and I thought it would be interesting to get your input on it. And obviously you've got the knowledge to kind of help people from that aspect as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one.
Okay, I'm excited, but I've got a question for you though.
Go on.
Have you blocked your ex?
I have. I actually have. And
Yep.
you know how long it's taken me to do that.
Yep.
Like what, it's been well over a year and a bit now, and I couldn't in the beginning. I could not block him for whatever reason. I just had that mental block. And then eventually I've managed to do it on Instagram and phone number as well.
Okay, and do you feel better for doing it?
Massively. Oh my God, 110%. I remember like before I was like, I can't do it. It's just horrible. I don't think I can. And it wasn't until I blocked him that I actually felt like I'd healed, and the full relief of like not feeling anxious or being on the edge, because there were no chance of contacting each other. Whereas before we were talking, even if it was every few weeks, it'd be like checking in on one another.
And you hold on to that hope of like, are they going to reach out? When are they going to reach out? And so you're constantly kind of looking for it, even if it's a subconscious thing.
Yeah, you're checking your phone all the time. And you can still go and view the stuff, like on Instagram, for example. I didn't, to be fair, I didn't, because I knew that would hurt me, but people can't they? People will go and look.
People go and look. I mean, I've been guilty of it myself. You go and look, you create all of these scenarios in your head because someone that you don't know's liked their photo, or their followers have gone up in some way or something. You're like, oh my goodness, they must be talking to someone. Oh, it must be this person, it must be that person. And you actually haven't got a clue. I've even done myself over by that before. Like, I convinced myself my ex was seeing this girl and they were in this restaurant at the same time. They weren't even in the same restaurant together, but like in my head, I was like, that's it. That's the person. It was not
You
the
make up
person.
stories, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you look psychotic because you're like looking through everyone that's like the picture, going through like whether they've liked other pictures, and then you just, oh no, you actually feel it drives you crazy.
It does. It is so mentally draining. But I have got a strange standpoint on blocking your ex.
Come on.
So, I've never blocked an ex on anything.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
So I don't feel the need to. I might do the little check-in here, there and everywhere, but I am very good at, I've got the most willpower and I've got too much pride.
Okay.
So I don't feel the need to reach out to them if like it's done. I obviously have the urge like everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not normal, but I've got such good willpower that I've never felt the need to. They have removed me. I've never been blocked, I don't think.
I was going to say, have they ever reached out to you?
They've reached out to me, yeah.
Did you reply?
Depends on what they say.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, like, none of my exes have really ended on terrible terms. Okay, yeah, there was probably one, but again, it wasn't terrible terms where if he was to reach out, I knew it'd be only of a time of need.
Mm-hmm.
I've had exes reach out to me about silly things, and I think it's just a way of getting in contact. But I'm always in a place where even if I did reply, it's not because I want them back.
Yeah, of course.
Or I'm not seeing where it's going to go.
I feel though, like what you just said, because you never left on bad terms, you didn't feel the need to block them. That's like me. Like, I didn't feel the need to block them because we left on pretty good terms, but it was still hurting me.
Yep.
You know, because I would always want to stay friends with this particular person because we got on so well.
Yeah.
But I feel because of how our relationship was in the meantime, I don't feel that love is ever going to go. So as long as we're in touch, maybe 5-10 years down the line, but this early on, it's always going to be quite hurtful.
And I don't think you can be friends with an ex like that. You cannot go from what you were to, okay, let's forget all of that and become really good friends. I have had clients that have done that, but, you know, it's very, very, very rare. So it's not about me staying friends with them. That's definitely not it. I think it's just more of a pride thing for me. However, I also do tell clients to block their ex on certain circumstances. So if you are someone that is non-stop checking, if you are someone that is even, or like WhatsApp's a crazy one, checking to see if they're online, and then coming up with a scenario where they've been online at this time, so then they must be talking to someone else. All of that is just delaying your healing and is keeping you connected to that person on a constant loop.
And you can't control whether they're going to message you,
Nope.
you know? Like, even if it's the good intentions to make sure you're okay and whatnot, because that was what was happening with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I couldn't heal. Because
No.
every time I started to feel good, I was like moving on, it'd come back and I'd feel like I was getting pulled back.
Yeah.
And it was just constant.
Yeah, and as soon as they reach out, you hold on to that hope that, oh, okay, maybe we'll see how things go again. Or maybe they've made a mistake and they just want to tell me that they miss me in a roundabout way. And it's not always the case. So I definitely think blocking your ex is very, very beneficial if you're someone that cannot withhold check-in, driving yourself insane, creating scenarios. I think the only way for you to fully let go and heal is to rip the Band-Aid off. And
Do you think people should do it right away? Or do you think when they're ready to do it?
I always think when they're ready, but it is better to do it sooner rather than later.
100%. Because you kind of you're helping the healing process start sooner.
Actually, funny enough, one of my clients messaged me this morning. I woke up to this to say that he'd blocked her on WhatsApp, unfollowed her on Instagram. So there's a difference still then, so you can still check if you want to check.
Yeah.
So, but what he was finding was going on to check in to see, followers and if she's posted a picture. But then also he was then going back through old messages.
Okay.
And going back through old photos.
Yeah.
So his question to me was, do I delete everything?
Okay. And what was your answer?
I always go back to, are you going to regret that later on down the line? So right now the pain's so heavy and you are going back through old photos and you are reminiscing, and if it's something that you think I can't keep doing this, I can't keep going back down memory lane, it's hurting me, then yes, delete them all. But again, it goes back to, they were a part of your life, they were a part of your story, so removing them completely, is that something you're going to regret later on? Because I broke up with my last ex 2.5 years ago. And if someone said to me, oh, what did he look like? Yeah. It's my only way of showing them a picture.
100%. And I'm the same, though, with that side of things. I can't delete old pictures. I just can't. Because I'm like, imagine if you're with somebody for 2-3 years, 10 years, and you live with them, you spend your whole time with them. If you delete that, you're deleting 10 years out of your life. And, people have an argument of, okay, well, what about your new partner? Like, why would you be happy if they had pictures of their ex?
Well, in my opinion, they're part of that person's life, so of course they're going to have pictures of their ex.
Yeah, of course. If it's something intimate or like kissing or whatever, different. Very, very different.
Yeah. And those pictures need to go.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. But when it's normal stuff, holidays, whatever memories, keep them, because you will regret deleting them later down the line.
Yeah.
And my thought process is, this is very unhealthy thought process as well. What if you get back together? You've deleted it all again.
That's terrible. That is no one take advice on that one. No, yeah, of course, but you just don't want to. Look, it's really difficult because I know people that really suffer.
Yeah.
And the pain is so heavy that their only option is to delete it all. And I was listening to a podcast actually the other day, and they was talking about the 5 things you should do after a breakup. And it's even like removing every single item they've ever had, even if it's under your bathroom cupboard. Remove it all so you're not ever triggered. And yeah, I agree. Obviously, you don't want it to be holding on to any of their stuff, because that's another thing that people do is, oh, I've got your T-shirt here. Yeah. Do you want that back 6 months later?
Primark T-shirt for £6. Are you joking? I don't think they want that back. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's also that element of it. But I do think, give back the stuff straight away, because that's the only reason you're keeping their stuff is to hold on to that. Okay, it's my excuse to reach out to them.
Yeah, to see them effectively. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think I've done that before, but with the photo side of things, yeah, like for me, I'll admit it, I've done it in the past. I've scrolled, and I'll still go back now sometimes, or if I'm looking for something in my camera roll and I'll scroll past it and I'll look and it'll be like, oh, like a little sinking feeling, but I can't physically get rid of that because I'm getting rid of great 2-3 years out of my life.
And also, there might be pictures within those pictures that are just of you, say, but it's still going to bring up that same memory of, okay, well, that was us two doing that together. So, you know, seeing a picture of you two isn't, but a lot of coaches and therapists will say to get rid of it all.
Yeah.
I will just say, keep it unless it's killing you, keep it in case you regret.
I had that with Dubai, you know, at one point. I couldn't be here long.
Oh,
Because
really?
this is where I met my ex. So like most of my time here was with him. Everywhere I went, everything was with him. So when I came back here on my own, it just felt so wrong in every single way. And I just couldn't be here for more than a few weeks. I just kept leaving and dipping. And then now I've thought, you know what, I need to tackle it. I need to take the problem on. What's the saying?
Take the what?
Take the. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. Take the problem head first.
Face the problem head on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to have to stay here and just start my new life all over again.
And I will always say, make new memories in those places that your favorite restaurant with that person.
You said that
whatever
to me.
it is. Make new memories in it, because then they are not tarnishing a certain, like, he was going to tarnish a whole city of yours because you weren't facing it. And now, you know, your life here is your own.
100%.
Life doesn't have to stop in any place because of an ex.
Yeah. I guess it is hard for people, like when people can't move away. Do you know what I mean? I had the opportunity to just move and be like, I'm off. I'm not staying here. But people actually have to face it every single day.
I've got 3 clients at the minute that work with their ex.
That's hard.
That is so difficult because every day you're faced with seeing that person.
What do you do in that situation?
You have to gain mental strength, and it takes a lot. You have to put in I think at that point you definitely need somebody to speak to.
Yeah.
Because you are facing, you know yourself how difficult heartbreak is without seeing that person all the time.
Yeah.
Seeing that person every single day in where you spend 90% of your time is so tough. And then you also get to know about their life.
And how they're moving on, if they're moving on, etc. Are they people that met through work?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So top tip, don't go with your work pal.
What's that saying? Right? You don't date where I can't remember.
Don't shit where you sleep or
something like that, yeah.
I think something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, don't date your co-workers.
Yeah, it's not ideal situation. But then again, you are surrounded by that. You're with them people all of the time. So you do make connections and it does happen. But yeah, it's not ideal. Absolutely not ideal.
And with kind of going back to the blocking side of things, how would you just kind of block the person, or would you say to them, look, I'm going to leave you be, I'm going to block you for so-and-so. I don't want you to think it's spiteful, whatever, or do you just do it? If you're left on good terms, say.
Left on good terms and you're feeling uncomfortable about blocking because you are worried that they're going to think, oh, she hates me or he hates me, or like, you know, there's going to be a negative, or you're maybe in the same friendship group or something and you don't want it to create an atmosphere, then I would suggest just saying, look, I'm blocking you for my own sake. It's nothing to do with you. I just need to do this for me to be able to move forward. If it's ended on bad terms, just do it. Now, the one thing that I'm going to say about blocking is, and this is, I think, another reason why I never have, is that you're still going to wonder if they've reached out to you.
Yeah.
Those thoughts are still not going to stop.
Yeah.
So you don't be doing it to be spiteful, to then unblock, to then reblock, and all of those things. Let's not play games about it. When you've made the decision to block, they're staying blocked until you feel ready. But even then, you'll be over it by that point, so there's no point in unblocking.
Yeah.
But do not be doing it because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do that, and he's going to figure out a way to speak to me. Like, I was seeing someone earlier on this year, and his last relationship was obviously very toxic.
Yeah.
And think both parties were to blame. But what he kept saying to me was, I can't understand why you're so chill, or like you just don't react to things. And I'm like, I haven't got the time or the energy. So like, if that's what you want, go get it. And I was like, tell me, what do you mean by react? And like, they used to block each other and then send each other a penny on a bank account and say like, unblock me if they split up and go
Oh my
together.
God, that is next level. That's a great idea, like, but
that's like, that's to the extent. Or like emails.
I mean, emails I've had before. I know people that have blocked like their ex's email from coming through. You can make another email. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and it's so difficult to block emails, if you even actually can do it. All you can actually
you can block emails. Somebody's done that. One of my friends has done it, so I know you can block emails. But the money transfer thing, that's insane.
No, but once I'd heard that story, I heard it a couple of other times as well, and I'm like,
where do people get these
going
ideas?
On? I know. Apparently, as well, if you ring each other on 141 on
141, yeah,
it will still go through.
Oh, really? If it's unblocked,
it will just give you a missed call.
I know it goes through as an unknown number, but I didn't know.
Yeah. But then obviously you would know that it's surely you would. How many people ring on unknown, especially if you're in this, I don't know, cycle of doing it. But yeah, I was like, so going back to the blocking thing, if you're blocking, it's because you're not doing it for a reaction. Yeah. You're doing it for peace.
But people do it out of toxicity. They'll block each other, then unblock each other. It happens all the time.
Oh, yeah. I have had clients who go, you'll be so proud of me, I've blocked them. And then the next minute, they, like a few weeks down the line, they'll be telling me that they reached out. And I'm like, I thought you blocked them. And then they have to backtrack and tell me, like, truthfully, they did block them, but then they
unblock them. And I get it, because people obviously have second thoughts and like, oh, well, what if they reach out? I want to know what they say, etc. For me, my side of things, it was, what if something ever happens to that person and I won't know? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'll feel that guilt, because obviously I still care for them. That was always in the back of my mind.
And sometimes you just have to go, but right now, my peace, my healing, me getting back on my own 2 feet is more important. You will always find out in a roundabout way.
Yeah, for sure.
The other way, if you don't want to block them, is delete their number.
Yeah.
It does open up that avenue for them to still reach out to you, of course, but it's taken away you being able to reach out to them. If you're the one that keeps reaching out or wanting to reach out, but you don't want them to know that you're bothered, then the other way is to delete their number.
It's the easiest way with a deleting number. I was also going to say, if, for example, you block them and unblock them on Instagram because you keep viewing this stuff, get them to block you.
Oh, absolutely.
Say to them, please, like, for my own sake, block me, because then you've got no way of getting there. Yeah. And don't make fake pages. Just please don't make fake pages.
Please do not make fake pages. All you're doing is literally driving yourself insane. Like, I have clients that do it, and I've even got a client, I've never heard of this one, and I don't know if I want to put it out there to the world that it's even possible, but anyways, he's got a tracker on his ex to see when she's offline and online, so she gets a notification.
Is that a thing?
I did not know it was a thing.
Wow. Crazy.
So all it is adding levels for me to having to try and get you to reduce these things. Yeah. Because you don't even know the facts. You don't know who they're talking to. No. I talk to my friends till God knows what time in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It could be absolutely anybody, anything. That is wild. That's actually just my head. But as well with other people can send you their stuff, because I used to get that a lot. Yeah. You know, when everything that happened last year, I just kept getting sent that person's stuff, and I was like, I'm going to have to block, because, I'm not going to look out the way, but someone will send me that and be like, have you seen this? It's like, well, no, I haven't until just now. And I didn't know what you was going to send me, so I opened your message. Do you want me to block you too? Like...
You have no one left.
I have absolutely no friends left. Yeah, but people do that. People don't think.
They don't, but they think that they're doing it for your own benefit. Yeah. Without realising the consequences or what is actually it happens to you. And at the time, you probably do enjoy seeing it, and then after, it comes crashing down. Yeah. 100%. It's like when you find out that your ex has got a new girlfriend, or they're seeing someone. You don't need to know that information. No. But unfortunately, it comes our way.
Yeah, and you're going to see it how you want to see it, because they might be in that relationship straight off the back of yours just to get over you, you know, and they might not even be happy. So I wouldn't even believe any of that.
You just concentrate on yourself. It's so much easier said than done, though. Like,
It is.
it is. That torment of the unknown or the known, and then you start to question and doubt yourself. Well, how comes he's moved on so fast, or she's moved on so fast? It must be me. There must be something wrong with me. That kind of...
You do torture yourself.
You torture yourself.
You torture yourself either way. I think, obviously, heartbreak isn't easy.
No.
And you deal with that day in, day out with people, you know. And from experience, like, it wasn't easy for me. To block took me over a year. I did block. I unblocked. I was playing that game.
But going back to that, I would like the listeners to not wait a year.
No.
Because off of the back of that, you felt so much more calm, peaceful, ready, like,
the
to
anxiety
move on.
just stopped. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't have that anxious feeling.
Mhm.
I weren't thinking about them as much, and I wish I'd done it sooner. I just physically couldn't do it because we were talking all the time, and it was just as soon as we had that long gap of no talking, bam, gone.
Yeah, and I've even had, and maybe people can ask their friends to do it for them. I've had clients ask me to log into their own Instagram
And
to
do it.
block that person.
Okay.
Because when somebody else does it for you, then it's like you're not even going on that profile to even see to stop yourself.
Yeah.
And so it felt to me like a complete invasion of privacy, but I understood why they wanted me to do it.
Yeah. But you can. The thing is with Instagram, you can still go in and block.
You absolutely can, but it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And so the longer you keep them out of sight, they do get out of mind. And so that is one of the biggest benefits of blocking that person.
So me and my ex actually both blocked each other.
Good.
We came to the conclusion together,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is really good, because then I can't go and unblock him and then still see anything because I'm blocked. So I think if one tip I would say is have a discussion with that person, and if you both want to move on but you're struggling, both do it together, because that's the only way you will have no physical way of contacting unless you send each other a penny. Then why would you want to be sending your ex a penny? Do you know what I mean? I'm not feeding you.
Unblock me.
I'm not.
Need to talk.
I'll send you a tenner.
Yeah.
Unblock me, please.
I know. I'd probably just send a penny back and go, it's going to take more than a tenner. Send me your highest price and I'll consider it.
Send me $1,000, maybe.
Maybe I'll consider it. Yeah, exactly.
So was it a female or a male?
Well, it was the guy that I was seeing that was telling me about it.
So she was sending him a penny, or he was sending her a penny?
No, they were both doing it. It was just a nightmare. But I've actually had one of my friends. We not that long ago, about a year ago. Her ex from years ago sent her a pound.
A pound? I said you cheapskate.
Honestly.
A quid?
A quid?
A quid?
Into her UK bank account as well. She didn't see it for ages because obviously she's
You don't look.
You don't look at I don't look at my UK bank account ever.
I don't even know if I've got my ex's account details, to be fair.
Well, this is another thing, but obviously I think if you're together with someone for that many years, you probably do.
You probably do. I think I've got his card saved on my Google Pay on my laptop.
Little Amazon shop.
A rookie
Cheers
error.
Yeah.
Thinking no for someone coming out from Dubai. That was quite fun, actually. I really enjoyed that. So one piece of advice, Ellie, for people not even one piece of advice. Should people block their ex? Yes or no?
Overall, my answer is going to be yes. 100%. It helps you. It heals you. It stops that contact, because even though we say no contact is literally meaning stop looking at their stuff, stop asking their friends about them, literally remove anything about them in your life at that time and watch how different things feel. It's horrible at the beginning. Blocking, like having no contact, is the hardest thing to do, but genuinely the best thing to do. And so within that no contact, blocking does.
Do you know, I was just about to finish this podcast, but something just came to mind. And just quickly, I think the person, this is going to sound awful, a person dying would be easier than just splitting up with someone and then not seeing them ever again. Because at least you know they're gone. Like, you physically don't have contact.
I was having this conversation with someone yesterday, actually, one of my clients, and he was just like, I've been through death and it doesn't feel as bad as this. He'd lost both his parents. And I said, well, yeah, it doesn't feel as bad as this because you're still grieving, but the person's still alive. And so you have that access to them if you wanted to. When they pass away, you genuinely cannot have access to them. You have to just allow it to come and go and let it go.
The heartbreak can be worse than actual loss of someone.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. I mean, I went through grief with my granddad last year, you know. It was around the same time that I split up with my ex. And I got, bless you, granddad, but I got over that a lot quicker than I did my ex because there was none of the contact.
Yeah.
So moral of the story, go kill your ex. Joking, by the way. I'm joking.
I might not add that into my platform. Module 8.
Yeah. And final module, kill your ex.
You'll be over it in a minute.
Literally great. Ellie, do you actually, on that note, do you want to tell me a little bit and the listeners about your app?
Oh, yeah. So I have launched the Healing Platform app.
How exciting.
Yeah, it's really, really, it's like so in depth. And if you're heartbroken, then there's the Heartbreak Recovery Blueprint on there, and it will literally take you through step by step on how to get over that. Then if you are just struggling with your self-esteem, confidence, not knowing your worth and what you bring to the table, then there's the Unlock Your Worth course, and that takes you literally step by step on how to become the best version of you. And then we have the lovely Navigating the Dating World, because we all know how much of a struggle it is, but it is there to stop you from being attracted to people that are not right for you, understand what you bring to the table, navigating what you actually want, and then how to attract that healthy relationship.
I love that. There's so much in there. There's literally something for everybody.
Something for everyone, and like there's different membership options, and you can gain access to me, or you can just do the courses. Like there is a lot on there.
Perfect. I'll get you to send me all the information, and I'll tag it in the show notes. And then anyone who wants to get in touch with Ellie is more than welcome to, because she's amazing. But thank you so much for coming on, and no doubt we'll have you on a podcast very soon again.
Yeah, I love it.
Co-host now.
We should just do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
guys, if you agree, drop a comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Well, thank you so much, and thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.